I think my biggest problem in life, ever since I was a teenager, was I never really cared. In high school, in middle school, I guess that's where it started from. I was just breezing by, just trying to get the easy way out. And I think my freshman year, I think my GPA was something like zero point 0.9. I kept getting suspended. I got suspended, I think, 5 times that year. I had no accomplishments. I wasn't going anywhere in life. That continued my sophomore year. I tried to make an effort, but still went down the same path. My junior year, I think that's when something really hit me. I remember I went to my dad's office, and he was opening up my SAT scores, and they're about the same level as somebody who's probably incompetent. I guess that's the best way to put it. I think that was the most embarrassing moment of my life, looking at my dad, looking at my older brother, and just seeing them, and they just looked like they were ashamed of me. So we left the office. I think I was in tears that day, and I was with my dad, and we were at the bank. And I remember that day I was wearing an Echo hoodie, I was wearing a fitted on, and I walked into the bank with my dad, and I had my hood on top of my hat. And he looked at me and he said, "You know, Shivan, like, I'm embarrassed with you. Like, your grades are crap. Like, you dress like a punk." And like, from that day forward, like, things really hit me. I remember I went home that day and I looked in the mirror, and I realized I was like, I don't want to be this person. I want my dad to be proud about me, and I didn't want to keep going down that path. So although it was a late start, when I was 17, I think that was like when I wanted to try changing things in my life. So I went home that day, and like, I thought of like a plan of how I would start changing things around, like how I would take myself out of 0.9 GPA hole, like how I would get all these suspension letters off my record, all that stuff. So I started slowly. I started getting into things. I redid my SATs. I started applying for colleges. I remember, even though I got off to a late start, like, I got rejected from every school I replied to, but I still didn't take no for an answer. I remember I went with my dad to my guidance counselor, and we literally begged him. We were like, I'll go anywhere. I just needed to get into college. And I did. I ended up getting into Mercy College, but that still wasn't enough for me. Like, I know, like, I had 2 older brothers. They went through school. Like, they had good grades. And that just still wasn't enough. Going to college was not enough for me. So I remember my senior year in high school, I finally picked it up. I think I graduated to 3.6, 3.7 that year. So I felt good. Like, I had my confidence up, and I was ready to move on. I was moving on to a new chapter. So I went into Mercy, and it sucked. That's supposed to be the time of your life. That's your freshman year in college. And I didn't. I sacrificed everything. I sacrificed my entire social life that year. Just busted my ass in college. I left Mercy with a 3.7, and I moved forward, and I moved on to Drexel, which is a great school, a top 100 school in the country. So it was one of my great accomplishments, something I felt really good about.